A mother silenced, Meskerem Abera's unjust imprisonment. Meskerem Abera, a mother, journalist, and activist, sits in an Ethiopian prison. Her crime, speaking truth to power. On November 28, 2024, she was sentenced to over a year in prison. The charges, computer crimes. The real reason? Daring to challenge the Ethiopian government. Abera's case reveals a chilling reality in Ethiopia. Freedom of speech is under attack. Journalists are silenced, activists are imprisoned, mothers are separated from their children. Abera's story is a stark reminder of the fragility of human rights, even in a nation yearning for peace. Her voice, though silenced for now, resonates with the silenced cries of countless others. Her story is not just about one woman. It is a story about Ethiopia, a story about justice, a story about the courage to speak truth, even when met with the iron fist of oppression. A voice, muffled, the charges and Abera's absence from court. The charges against Abera are centered around her online activism. Her YouTube channel, Ethio and Kat, became a platform for dissent. She dared to criticize the government's handling of ethnic violence. She spoke out against the massacre of Amharas in the Oromia and Benishangul regions. This, the Ethiopian government deemed inciting violence. On the day of her sentencing, Abera was absent from the courtroom. She refused to participate in a system she believed was rigged against her. Her lawyer, however, vowed to appeal the verdict. But the damage was done. A mother was separated from her children. A voice of dissent was silenced. Abera's absence speaks volumes. It highlights the deep distrust in the Ethiopian judicial system. It underscores the fear that permeates a nation grappling with political turmoil. Her silence, in a way, is a deafening roar. A roar that demands justice, not just for her, but for all those who dare to speak truth to power. A life dedicated to truth and justice. Meskerem Abera's background. Meskerem Abera is more than just a political prisoner. She is an educator, a journalist, a mother of two. She is a woman who has dedicated her life to seeking truth and advocating for justice. Before her arrest, she was a beacon of hope, a voice for the voiceless. She used her platform to amplify the stories of those marginalized and oppressed. Abera's work focused on the plight of the Amhara people, a group facing systematic persecution. She documented their stories, shared their struggles, and demanded accountability. Her activism stemmed from a deep sense of empathy and a burning desire for a just and equitable Ethiopia. She dared to dream of a nation where all citizens, regardless of ethnicity or political affiliation, could live in peace and security. Her imprisonment is not just a personal tragedy, it is a loss for Ethiopia. It is a loss for human rights, it is a loss for the pursuit of truth and justice. Her story serves as a stark reminder of the importance of protecting freedom of speech and the vital role journalists and activists play in holding power to account. A bleak future. Ethiopia's troubling political landscape and the fight for freedom. Meskerem Abera's case shines a harsh light on the current political climate in Ethiopia. Despite the hopes ignited by Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed's Nobel Peace Prize, the nation continues to grapple with ethnic violence, political repression, and a shrinking space for dissent. Underneath the veneer of peace, a darker reality festers. Journalists are intimidated, harassed, and imprisoned. Activists operate under the constant threat of reprisal. The government, instead of addressing the root causes of conflict, resorts to silencing those who dare to speak out. The international community must not remain silent. Governments, human rights organizations, and individuals must condemn Abera's imprisonment and demand her immediate release. Pressure must be applied on the Ethiopian government to respect freedom of speech, protect journalists and activists, and ensure a fair and transparent judicial process. The fight for Meskerem Abera's freedom is a fight for the soul of Ethiopia. It is a fight for the principles of justice, equality, and freedom of expression. It is a fight that demands the attention and action of the world.